What's up, synthesizer? Skyote Moon here. I am back with the daily drop. I am the founder and chief visibility officer over at Synthesis Agency, and we are an agency devoted to supporting music artists like you, DJs, producers, even labels and promoters, in creating success, thriving in their artistry, in the EDM scene, and doing all the things. And the daily drop is here to serve you with building some momentum into 2025. And it's really interesting because I've probably filmed like, I don't know, 10 or 20 different takes of this video so far. And I had a whole different topic in mind, of course. And this is what's so interesting about being a creative and putting out content, is that sometimes things will feel really forced. And if they're feeling really forced, this is usually a good sign that it's probably not the thing to put out. And so I'm totally pivoted for what we were going to talk about on the daily drop today, which was really going to be about goals and strategy and all this kind of stuff, to talk about something that I think is actually a little more relevant and important to your success next year in 2025. And that is learning when to let go of certain things, when to understand where you're being stuck in your perfectionist mindset with things, and how you need to hold space for that in yourself, move through it, get tapped into your creativity again, and really trust yourself. Because I'll just say, like, I just like was about to upload all these videos, right? You know, it's like a bazillion takes because I'm like trying to follow kind of this little bit of a script and all of that. And it was just feeling so forced that like I accidentally ended up deleting them when I meant to actually like upload them, you know, Bluetooth them over to my computer. And I was laughing because I was like, of course I just deleted these because I actually think it's total crap. And in that moment, I could have just been like, okay, like I actually literally do not want to do this right now. Like I'm so frustrated with myself because I'm trying to like create something that has an impact, that has meaning, that has value. And like for you, maybe it's to be funny, it should be this, right? Like we can get in these like content flows where it's like we're trying so hard to create the thing that we're actually so far from what's actually going to be impactful in any way, shape, or form, right? And so it's funny, I went to press play here, like, you know, record and start this whole thing again. And I was just like, I'm not talking about that topic because it literally doesn't turn me on in the slightest right now. And I probably will come back to it at some point because I had a really great, like, real life story to go with it. But it just isn't what's alive. And sometimes this is the best approach to content. And the strategist in me is like, no, don't say that to people. But it's really, really true. There's an element that can be really helpful for you in building like with your fans and building a community where you're actually like tuned into the energy and the frequency, not just of them, but also of yourself. And like what actually like is gonna create some sort of magnetic kind of draw, right? And a lot of times if we get like really hyper focused on the plan and the structure and the like, no, this is the way that we're going to do this. This is what we're going to create. And we start to force all this content out and we get like so hyper intellectualized about it. Man, it can like really pull us away from the goal that we're really hoping to achieve with whatever project it might be. And so this is just a permission slip right now that as you're going forward, okay, and you're really looking at things like really strategies and you're looking at whatever you're going to sort of be implementing for next year, events, releases, whatever it is, to give yourself this room to let go and to experiment and to not focus so much on the perfect thing. Right? Like I could go back and reshoot that entire video and like hammer it home. And someday maybe we'll be here with that channel. Right now, the daily drop is really just about bringing you daily wisdom that's actually going to help you. And right now, I think that this thing right here of learning how to let go of perfectionism, be in the moment, open yourself to possibility, tap into your creativity in a way that actually excites you is going to serve you more than anything else you could possibly do in the coming year. And that's a very bold statement to make. And I realize that. because I do know how important strategy and structure and timelines and deadlines are. But within that, there has to be an element for you to be the music artist that you are, like the human part of you that exists in this. And the human part is not polished and perfect. And what we see on social media these days and what we see in marketing is that polished and perfect isn't the thing that actually works. Like, this isn't actually the thing that people gravitate towards. The thing that they gravitate towards is like this real-time expression of who you are. And so there needs to be a balance of both. Like, there needs to be a balance of the moments that we really, want to curate a very certain message or send out a very clear, channel broadcast about something, and put together content and put together pieces that have a lot of meaning and have a very clear through line and message. Like, those are high value pieces of content and pieces that we want to put together, and we have to balance it with who we are in the moment and the energy and the frequency and being able to like show up in the totality of who we are. And that's an incredibly important skill to develop when you are trying to grow a community, trying to grow a fan base, trying to connect and network with people. Like, they have to know you're real, and they have to know that there's a human behind the brand, so to speak. There's a human behind the music. And that's just leading me into like a whole nother thought. Like, we need to bookmark this, and maybe someone's gonna have to remind me, I don't know. But we need to bookmark this fact that like the more human you can show is gonna be so important, especially with like AI and everything that's happening in the music world, in all industries at large. Like, being able to show up and be human and show that humanness is so incredibly important. And we need to weave that in with everything else we do when it comes to our strategies, when it comes to the pieces of content and things like that we curate. And we have to make sure that we add that in. And so I'm kind of like adding this as one of my top things you can start doing right now that is really going to set you up for success in 2025. And that is being able to get real with shit in real time and not hold yourself back. And that's exactly the moment that I described to you just happened to me. It's like, no, I mean, I could like put it all on pause and be like, yeah, I'm just off. Like, I don't got it. I don't got it tonight. I just don't got it. I don't got a daily drop. Like, it's just not there, right? Believe me, this is what's going through the head. Or I can be like, okay, what is actually here right now? What is actually present? What actually wants to be shared? What actually wants to be created? And you can use this same thought process for yourself when you feel stuck. The same thought process when everything kind of feels like you're forcing it out into the world. That's the time to stop and put the pause button and to go, all right, where do I need to like tap back into the flow? Where do I need to let go a little bit? Where do I need to shift from this whole vision, this whole idea, and this whole plan, and this whole strategy, and let some of the real feeling, emotion, expression come through, and give myself some space to show the human side of who I am as an artist. So I'm going to leave this one here because we're in a good flow and I want to keep it that way. And also, I think this is a good little nugget and piece to chew on for the next little bit, and to see how and where there's places where you're kind of holding yourself back with this and where you can open up more, and where in some of the projects that you're working on for next year that you're going to be able to maybe let go a little bit and maybe give yourself a little more space to show more of who you are to your fans, to your community, to the promoters, to the label owners, to the people that are going to be interested in working with you and collaborating with you and creating with you, because they're human too. So let me know how this one lands for you. And this, I think, is a good one to pass along to any other artists that you know that might struggle with this too, or that you think would be helpful for them. And please do not forget to hit subscribe and to stay tuned into these daily drops, because really these are here for you. These are here to help you grow and build momentum as we go into 2025. So thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next time.